Okay, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Learning with Braincell webinar. My name is Sarah, and I'll be your host for today's event. Before I introduce today's presenters, let me just run through a few housekeeping items with you. So this webinar will last approximately 45 minutes with some time for a Q&A at the end. With that being said, please feel free to submit your questions at any time throughout the presentation via the question box. And finally, today's session is being recorded, so you will receive an email likely tomorrow morning with a link to the recording that you can reference and that you'll be able to share with colleagues. And okay, with that, let me introduce you to today's presenters. On the line, we have Ross Jones from Braincell. Hi, Ross.
Hello there.
And we have Taylor Stanley joining us from Salesfusion. How are you, Taylor?
Good. Nice to meet everyone. Thanks for joining.
All right. So with that, Ross, I will turn it over to you.
Sarah, thanks very much. So what we wanted to do today is just give a couple of bits of background about who we are and why we're doing this. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Braincell. Some of you will know us and probably know me. Why it's worth integrating a CRM tool with marketing automation, obviously the whole purpose of today's webinar. Then we'll go into actually taking a look at the integration through a demonstration, and we'll have a chance, or you'll have a chance to ask questions of us. And as Sarah said, if you think of something as we're going through, drop it into the questions box on the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll pick those up at the Q&A at the end. So a little bit about Braincell. You may or may not know, we were founded a little while ago, 1994, so we've been going for quite a while now. One of our sort of strengths and mantras is that we offer unbiased business software advice, and we like to guide our clients and customers and prospects towards what's the right solution for them. We specialize, you can see what I'm saying on the screen here, in end-to-end business software and services. That includes the products that you see there, but also we consult and advise and guide our prospects and clients towards that right solution. So our key areas are CRM, ERP, marketing automation, and consulting services, which includes business intelligence, BI. So what we're trying to do is make you successful, basically, help you thrive by guiding you towards the right solutions for the issues that you're experiencing in your business. So we'd like to understand what the issues are and then guide you towards the right solution. Thank you, Sarah. So the big question is, why bother to integrate CRM and marketing automation? One of the biggest reasons for doing this is to give visibility to your sales team of the marketing efforts that are going on behind the scenes. So when a sales rep is out visiting a client or a prospect, he's able to pull up that prospect or contact in CRM and see all the interactions that that person may have had through your own marketing efforts and how they've responded. It paints a much better picture of the engagement of that person with you as the business, and then enables the salesperson to have a more creative and targeted, focused conversation, if you will. So the other reason for doing that is that obviously the automation part is important. Sometimes it's difficult to monitor all that in one go. How are people responding to the initiatives that you're sending out in terms of marketing effort? Well, the system can keep track of that. There's the concept of scoring, how interested that person is, and we'll get into that in the demo, and Taylor will talk us through that. And when a particular score is reached, then an action can be triggered. So in other words, through the marketing efforts of your company using marketing automation, the hard work, the heavy lifting can be done behind the scenes, and the system can sense when a person is ready to have a conversation. And it may be through the lead scoring, or they've gone to a particular web page. And at that point, the sales rep can be alerted, if you want to do that, as one example, and then you can make the call to that person, and they're, again, as I said before, more engaged, more likely to be engaged in the conversation, because now you're tracking with them what they've been looking at and why they've been looking at that. So you'll see as we go through the concept of lead scoring. It obviously allows the tracking of the whole customer journey, if you like, from starting off as a lead, how people are coming and interacting with you with the business, and hopefully at the end of the day, closing business through a one opportunity. Thank you. Next one. So Salesfusion has a deep integration with Infor, and you'll see that as we get into the demo in a minute with Taylor. It'll integrate with versions of Infor CRM, also known as SalesLogix for our older listeners, back to version 8.2. It has a native out-of-the-box integration. It can synchronize out of the box at every 15 minutes, and that can be tuned if you want it to be. It also allows native data to appear in CRM, but also access through an iframe within CRM, direct access back into Salesfusion if you wish to see that. And some of you may have been aware in the old days when you're trying to get CRM to do the heavy lifting of sending out emails, it can be a huge burden on the database. And with all marketing automation tools, that heavy lifting and the data that it generates through that heavy lifting is all managed through the Salesfusion tool, but sent back into CRM, so the relevant data and only the relevant data is seen there. So that's sort of the overview. The benefits, as I sort of alluded to, are mainly because of allowing the salespeople to see what's been going on in the marketing world. From the marketing person's perspective, you have a very comprehensive tool, which you'll see in a moment, that can do all the things you need to do in terms of creating campaigns, creating landing pages, creating creative content, branching logic. If a person responds in this way, then they go down this track. If they respond in this way, they go down in that track. And that information can be fed back into CRM, allowing the sales rep, hopefully, to do his or her job in a more informed way by seeing how the customer or the prospect has been relating to the efforts that you've been putting out there from a marketing perspective. So as I say, as we go through this, if you think of questions or anything doesn't make sense, jot it into the question box, and either Taylor or I, in a moment, at the end of the demo, will be happy to answer those questions. So what we'll do now is hand over to Taylor, and he will take us through a look at Salesfusion and its integration with Infor CRM. Thank you, Taylor.
Perfect. Well, thanks for the summary, Ross. Appreciate that. And yeah, looking forward to showing everyone the platform. So I think one thing to keep in mind with Salesfusion, where we are a little different, is we are that all-in-one marketing solution. We don't tier functionality or feature, so everything is included with our platform. So I'll be able to walk you through a couple of the builders today, and then I'll even show you how the integration into Infor looks. So in the meantime, like Ross said, any questions you have, feel free to drop those in the box, and we'll get them answered at the end. So within Salesfusion, we give you a couple of options, or a number of options to utilize when you're leveraging our solution. So on this initial global dashboard, it gives you that high-level overview of all the tools that you have. So not only can you build out different email campaigns within Salesfusion, you can tie in your marketing and sales performance with Salesfusion. That's tying in data directly to Infor with our bidirectional sync. We're able to put on a tracking script on the header or footer of your website. That allows us to track visitors coming to your website, what forms they're filling out, are they opening emails, are they clicking links. You're able to track that data at a high-level view. On top of that, you do have the ability to see where that lead was generated from with a specific source. We have an integration to GoToWebinar and WebEx, so if you do any type of webinars, just another way to capture, who's registered, who attends, capture that data, so therefore you can start utilizing that data for specific campaigns, which I'll show you in the builders in a moment. On top of that, you have the ability to build out different forms and landing pages, really to capture, those generated leads. So when you're sending out your campaigns, you're drawing traffic back to the website. You want to find a way to capture that data and that information. Well, you have the ability to build out forms and landing pages within Salesfusion. And then on top of that, you also have the ability, and I heard Ross mention it, is utilize our lead scoring. So not only do you have the ability to market on the account level with this specific dashboard, you also have the ability to see an overall score. So if someone from a company is scoring up, well, odds are they're all over your website. They're clicking links. They're engaging in all your marketing content. And the beauty of that, all that information is going to get pushed right over into Infor to your sales team. So before I jump into Infor, I'll really walk through some of the builders. The nice thing with all these dashboards here, you can easily drill in and get specific information. So unique clicks, unique opens, who the recipients are getting these campaigns, what links they've been clicking on. Are they associated with any landing pages? You're able to track that at a high level. On top of that, you can even preview your campaign and see what it looks like on a desktop as well as a mobile device. So all of our builders, our form, email, and landing page builder, they're all mobile responsive. So you never have to worry about the issue of making sure the email renders correctly. With that, I will walk through 3 or 4 of the builders, and the first thing I'll walk through is the email builder. So email is a core component of Salesfusion. That gives you the ability to utilize our drag and drop builder here. And for time purposes, I already pulled in a template. But as you can see, that allows you to be able to hover over this email. This is a template I pulled in. The design is very easy to do. So you can easily drag over. You can hover over certain areas. You can add columns. I can click in and add, type as much or as little information as I like. I can add links. We're going to be able to track all of that data, such as link clicks, what pages, what emails they opened. On top of that, you can even create different buttons. So, for example, maybe someone is registering for a webinar. Well, you can easily type in the title of that button, type in the URL, or even leverage one of our landing pages to easily drop that right in. So now, when someone clicks that button, it takes them to that landing page, and we're able to track the click, the visit, and then if they fill out the form, the actual conversion. Within that, you do have the ability to easily go in and drag over components. So you don't have to know any HTML or code with our builders. You can even add images. We have an asset library tied to the platform. So at any point, you can click in. You never have to jump in and out of Salesfusion when you're building out these emails. So we've tried to design it, very easy, as you can see. Oh, that looks like the right image. Let's drop that right in. Maybe not. Oh, I got to hit select. Then you can easily drop that, image right in there. From there, at any point, you also have the ability to preview this email in our builder. So it's all drag and drop functionality. And therefore, you built out a nice email, nice campaign. You're able to personalize this. So it's going to look like it's coming on behalf of your sales reps or your company. So that's the email builder. On top of that, you also have the ability to build out different nurtures and workflows. So this is based on someone, maybe filling out a form. So I'll touch on forms and landing pages next. But what this allows you to do is create a workflow based on the prospect or individual's action. And keep in mind, when I show you our Infor integration, all this data that you're creating inside of Salesfusion, that's going to be able to be leveraged and used by your sales team inside of the CRM. So this is a nurture. Someone downloaded a form on our website. Well, we created the next step and to trigger out an email. Well, here's your ebook email. Well, then we want to take it a step further. Did this prospect click the link within 3 days? Well, if the answer is yes, we send a hot lead alert notification to the owner of that record inside of Infor. We also created a sales task follow-up. With our integration to Infor, we can actually push this action directly into the CRM. But say they didn't click the link within 3 days. The answer is no. We drop them into a 6-month nurture campaign. So really what I was trying to illustrate here is 2 things. One, you have the ability to strike while the iron's hot with those engaged prospects. But the less engaged, the answer is no. Well, yeah, you can drop them into a long-term nurture, and they're still going to get emails. They're still going to get content. They're not just going to sit in your database and do nothing. You're going to be able to stay in front of those prospects. So that's our nurture builder. And just to highlight, by right-clicking, as you can see, it's really limitless the number of steps you can add within these nurtures. So you can add email steps, pause steps. You can create task and opportunities that would push to Infor. You even have the ability to alert an owner or maybe a whole group. Maybe you want your whole marketing team to get notified. You can actually leverage that with this nurture builder. So that's the nurture builder. The next thing I wanted to touch on was the form and landing page builder. So again, for time purposes, I already opened up a template just to highlight the drag and drop ability. So this is the actual form template that I created. As you can see, it's already kind of pre-built. You can rearrange in the order that you'd like. You have the ability to add red asterisks. So those are mandatory questions that you can make sure that someone has to fill out this information. And on top of that, with our integration to Infor, you also have the ability to map over specific fields. So for example, if I type in email, I want this email field to automatically get pushed to Infor. So that's going to allow you to really not have to manually worry about adding new prospects, new individuals to the CRM. Not only are they going to populate in Salesfusion, they're also going to populate inside of Infor. And I think I'll make it all clear on that look in a moment when I dive into Infor. On the right-hand side is the ability to drag over specific form fields. So maybe you want to get specific questions. What industry are you associated with? What's your title? What's your location? Maybe you want to drag over a CAPTCHA button just to make sure this isn't a spammy type, a bot or anything filling out a form that you paste on your website. So you have everything that looks good. You hit next. That's where you can actually use the design. As you can see, you can type in a hex code. You can really drag the color that you want. You can align the boxes. You can click in at any point. Really give it the look and feel you want. But the most important and very nice feature with our platform is the ability to add rules and actions once someone completes your forms. So, for example, I can go right in and I can add a rule. It's going to pull all the fields that I just created. So, for example, let's just do email contains at. So anyone who filled out this form with an email, at symbol, I can hit add, and I automatically want to trigger an action to occur. So again, we're getting rid of the manual process. We're putting these warm leads in front of your team as soon as possible. So within that, not only can I create a task and opportunity that's going to push directly to Infor, I also have the ability to trigger out an email. I can add to a nurture campaign. I can even alert this user that, hey, this is a high-scoring lead. And the really nice piece with our form builder is it doesn't have to be just one line item when it comes to forms. So not only can you create tasks in the Infor, I also can trigger out an email to go out and alert the user all at once. So it's a common practice to see more than one item occur. But again, the most important fact is to put this lead in front of the right person at the right time. So that is our form builder, pretty straightforward there. Once it is complete, you can easily publish that form on your website, but a lot of our clients will leverage our drag and drop landing page builder to tie in forms. So the really nice thing with this is, again, this is a template for time purposes that I created, but on the left-hand side are all the drag and drop options, and you can drag over specific forms. So for example, I just created a nice looking form. I knew it had the right routing rules. I can go right in. Now that form is going to be added directly to this landing page. I also, maybe I want to drag over some images. I can easily go in, drag over my image, just to make this look, the way I want. Again, I can pull my asset library. Very easy to do. I can easily go right in. Oh, there's a name that we all know. We can drop that right in. So now that's going to be tied to this landing page. So again, our design is really built for that ease of use. At any point, you can preview this landing page, and now you can not only track the visitors who come to this page. Once someone fills out this form, I'm able to capture that information. And the beauty of it, all that data and information that you're collecting, you're going to be able to funnel that not only in Salesfusion, but also in Infor. And to publish this, one nice thing that we do with Salesfusion here is we're going to configure your domain name. So it's going to look like it's your web page, even though it's hosted through Salesfusion. So, for example, it could be, webinar, landing page, Braincell. However you want to set it up to really resemble your company, even though it, again, is hosted by Salesfusion. So you've done all these marketing and sales activities. You've kind of built out the nurtures, the workflows. The last thing you want to do with our platform is really get those analytics. And that's where we built out We have a BI tool that comes with our platform. And what that allows you to do is really slice and dice all your marketing and sales activities. And this allows you to create those custom dashboards. And you can take data from Infor as well as Salesfusion and create these rich visualization views, which I've kind of illustrated right here. So, you have a bar graph of email clicks and opens over time, forms and landing page submissions. All this data is live, just like our sync to Infor. So any change or update, you're going to reflect right here. So you can create a pie graph, you can create a heat map. We even have clients that tie in sales data as well, directly from Salesfusion and Infor to tie in not only to the marketing team, but also to sales. You can do individual pipeline by rep. And the beauty of this is you have the ability to schedule all this data out. So, there's different team members in different organizations. So, maybe at the end of each week, you want your sales team to get a sales report of the highest engaged leads this week. Well, maybe at the end of the month, you want your marketing team to get, a report of all the campaign conversions. So how many opportunities did our marketing team generate from these specific campaigns? So just a really important visualization and reporting tool that comes with our platform. And I know I sped through everything, but all that information that we've just talked about comes with the platform. So it's no add-on, it's no additional cost. And the beauty of all this, you have the ability to push all of this and leverage all of this marketing data right into Infor. So with that being said, I pulled up our Infor instance. So within this, you're able to actually see all the different marketing assets that are tied. So look at it this way. Typically, the marketer is living inside of the Salesfusion platform, building out all of those marketing assets, and your sales team is living inside the CRM. So part of our bundle, we're going to be able to tie in all of our activities, marketing activities, click links, what campaigns they've been receiving, did they register for any events, any web activity. So you're able to track all of that right here and see that data in live instance. But part of our integration, we've actually incorporated our Salesfusion iframe right here. So I actually already opened it up ahead of time. And what this is leveraging is all your sales and marketing activities is right in front of your sales team. So you're really arming them with all those marketing activities. And for me, actually being a salesperson, I rely on this iframe daily. Not only does it allow me to see what pages this prospect or current client has been visiting, what campaigns they've been associated to, you have the ability to see how they achieved a scoring summary. So lead scoring is another core component. Not only are you able to see and set different scoring parameters, how somebody can score up, you also can set alerts. So if someone goes from a score of 1 to 75 in an hour, well, they're probably engaged with your information and your content. You want to strike while the iron's hot. We can actually set rules within Salesfusion to alert your reps directly in their inbox that this is a hot scoring lead. With our integration to Infor as well, we're also going to give you the ability to create lists in different segmentations. So part of the integration, you have the ability to create different lists. And not only if you create lists in Infor, that's going to sync down to Salesfusion, but you also can easily have lists for your sales team to leverage. So again, I can jump in. This person met all the right criteria. That's my list. I want to add this contact directly to that list. Therefore, when my marketing team sends out a campaign, they don't have to manually worry about adding someone. I don't have to manually worry about adding someone. I can do that right in that iframe. On top of that, ideally our platform is built for a mass campaign, so that allows us to be able to send out those mass campaigns, get very segmented, very targeted. But within the iframe, you also have the ability to drop in and create templates. And typically these templates can be used by the marketing team where they set up the right marketing message, has the proper links, but it's going to look like it's authentic, like it's coming from that sales rep. So it saves time on the sales rep hand, but also ensures that's the proper marketing message. And when I hit send, I'm able to track this one-off email in that buyer's journey. Within that, you also have the ability to set up nurtures. I showed everyone a nurture in the Salesfusion instance. Well, you can actually give your team access to these nurtures. So for example, I talked to a prospect, they're in Canada, and they are interested potentially in my product. Well, you know what? We have a trade show in a few months. I want to easily drop them into that campaign. I can easily add to step, and now that individual, that prospect, has dropped into my nurture. So it's almost that set it and forget it approach. So as a salesperson, not only do I don't have to worry about that lead because I dropped them in that campaign, I'm able to track that activity and see, are they opening the email? Are they clicking the email? They could respond to you. You're going to be able to see all that data. And then finally, you're able to tie in any opportunity data directly in this instance, in the iframe. So therefore, you can leverage, see how your opportunity, how your pipeline's going. It's all going to be incorporated in this iframe. So that's where you would have the ability in the iframe there to leverage all your sales and marketing data. And of course, it's going to be tied into Infor as well if you needed to see that as well. Ross, is there anything else in particular you'd like me to jump into? I know I kind of sped through it, but anything you'd like me to focus on more?
No, Taylor, that was lovely, and it was at great speed. And remember, folks, that what we're saying, this is to whet the appetite. If you're not familiar with marketing automation at all, then there's a lot to absorb, and we'd be very happy to do a one-on-one presentation specifically for your business and how you would look to use it. If you are familiar with marketing automation, then I hope you can see the richness that's built into this tool. Gone are the days of simple email campaigns, just sending an email and hoping someone responds. And of course, we all know we get an email, it comes in with no interest to us. It doesn't even look interesting. We don't even open it. It is trashed. The whole purpose of using marketing automation, or one of the purposes, is to pull together the ways that you are interacting with your customers and prospects, and they are responding. So the fact that they do open an email and they do click a link, or they do go to a landing page and do something, all of that is really useful information. So it's giving you more ammunition and more confidence that that person is going to express an interest in the products and services that you're offering. So gone are the days of just hoping for the best, sending out an email and waiting and seeing. Now we have a methodology, and if you're familiar with marketing automation, it won't be a new idea, but you built into Infor CRM, of course, now you can see the responses of all those people being fed back into the contact or the lead record, and as a salesperson, gives you the ability to pick up the phone and say, oh, I saw that you expressed an interest in, or you signed up for the trade show, or as Taylor mentioned and I mentioned earlier, if you're going to use lead scoring and using that as a trigger, and we do this at Braincell, by the way, that when a particular person hits a certain lead score, it really generally means that they've got a lot of interest in what that content is. So it moves now from marketing straight into sales, and a salesperson can pick up the phone while that information is still hot in the mind of the person, like within 5 minutes, if you can. And now you're capturing the conversation in the context of what the person was thinking about. So it's very powerful if used effectively. There were just a couple of things I was going to mention as a sort of summarize what Taylor was saying. So from a marketer's perspective, now you have the ability to create campaigns, rich campaigns with a lot of good content easily and readily, and store them for future use. From a marketing and a sales perspective, now that you can score leads and score the interaction of the people responding, you're going to improve the success rate, the hit rate of your campaigns and efforts. And if you're looking at it from a return on investment perspective, and as Taylor alluded to, one of the action steps can be, if something equals something, then create an opportunity in CRM. If you want to do that, now you have the methodology of tracking open and won opportunities with marketing efforts. So you can do a real ROI calculation. What else did I write down here? A couple of other things that are really useful. If people are not interested, they can obviously opt out. You know that. We do it all the time with marketing campaigns. But if they have some sort of interest, but they don't respond to an email, like Taylor was saying, one of the branching logic pieces is, no, they didn't respond. Well, if that's the case, drop them into a nurturing campaign. And as Taylor also mentioned, if you think a particular customer contact or lead is interested in something that's going on, the example that he gave was trade show in Canada, they live nearby or they work nearby, it may be of interest, they can simply be added to that campaign, that nurture campaign. So now, with additional knowledge that you may have about a customer, you can manually add them to that campaign. One of the things that I think is really creative as well is the fact that a salesperson now can, if you like, piggyback on the efforts that marketing are doing and using the templates that have been created. So rather than me just reach out to a customer and send them an email from Outlook, no, create it from within CRM, use that embedded iframe to grab a template. Reason now is that A, it's got really good content, it's been thought about, but more importantly, when it goes out, all the tracking methodologies are now triggered. So you can see when it was opened, you can see did they click through, and the responses are going to come back to you. So there's a lot to absorb there, and we're only really scratching the surface here, of course. So we can, if there's any questions, we'll throw it open to Q&A now, I think.
Yeah, thanks, Ross, and thanks, Taylor. So, folks, if you have any questions, now's the time to put them into the question box. One did come in while you were demoing, Taylor. How much does Salesfusion cost?
Yeah, great question. So Salesfusion is based off the number of marketable contacts that you have in your database. So our pricing start point is up to 5,000 contacts for $700 a month. As you increase your database size, the cost would increase. So it goes in blocks of 1,000 contacts for $50 additional, and then blocks of 10,000 for additional $100. So, if you went from 5,000 contacts to 6,000 contacts, it's only $50 additional, so it'll be $750 a month. And on our website, we actually have a pricing scale where you can kind of slide and scale. But keep in mind, it's a valid email address. It's anyone who opts out, unsubscribes, that's not going to count toward your database cost, and everything's included. So you get unlimited users, unlimited email sends, unlimited functionality, as well as unlimited phone, email, and chat support. So it was a little long-winded, but I always like to mention that.
Great. And then you had mentioned, too, earlier about like the advanced analytics and things like that that typically tend to be an add-on with some other marketing automation platforms, but that's included with Salesfusion?
Yep, absolutely. So that advanced analytics module is included in our platform. Yeah, most of our competitors or other automation tools, you would either have to be on their enterprise level or higher tiered package with us. We really catered to those small to mid-sized marketing teams, but also have this enterprise grade functionality. So that's kind of why we've tried to make it that all-inclusive platform.
Wonderful. Okay, it looks like we have another question here. What kind of marketing data can be seen from the Infor side?
Yep, great question. So when it comes to marketing data, we're going to be able to populate, well, with the actual sync, we're able to sync all of your leads, contacts, accounts, opportunities, any custom fields, as well as any list that you created either in Salesfusion or in Infor. As far as actual marketing data, we're going to be able to tie in your web activities. So we're able to tie in web activity visitors. We're going to be able to tie in the cookie to known individuals. That's a valid email address, so we're keying off the email address. On top of that, we're able to push all of your landing page and form data. We're able to tie in the lead scoring data as well. And any email campaign data too. You're able to track, email opens, email clicks. You're able to see what campaigns that individual is in. And then on top of that, I think I mentioned lead scoring. So really those are the core components: the web activity, the emails, the landing pages, the forms, as well as the lead scoring, and then any custom field data that you create in Salesfusion, you can push that data to Infor as well.
Wonderful. Okay, that looks like all the questions that we have for today. If the folks on the line, if you do think of questions after the fact, feel free to just send us an email. We're happy to answer them. But Ross, I'll let you close with some concluding thoughts.
Thank you. Yes, so I hope that was found to be of interest to you all. Some of you may have known of it or have seen it and just needed a refresher, and for some it may have been brand new. So if you need to go deeper and you'd like to see this in a more one-to-one environment with the ability to ask live questions, then please reach out to me. My email is there, rjones@braincell.net. Or you can reach out and give us a call. But either way, we'll be very happy to engage and go deeper if this is of interest to you. So that's really my summary. Thank you so much, all of you, for attending. We appreciate it, and I hope you all found it interesting.
Yep, and thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Ross, both. This was really great. Thank you all for attending. Again, we'll be sending out an email with the link to the recording. You should see it in your inbox tomorrow morning, so keep your eye out for that. And if you have any follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Ross directly or the info@braincell.net email address. So I hope you all have a great rest of the day and rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.